Hello, hello. Yes. It's that time of the day. It's the Lunchman Show, 1 o'clock to 2 o'clock. We're right here with Andrew. Monday to Friday, and to the whole hour the whole hour from 1 to 2. And yes, we have a good time over here. So you can get us on. We're also live on the app. We're also live on the app, and we are available. The app is available on iOS and Android. So for those that are on Facebook and our social media, you can reach out to us on the comment section, and you know, um, from what we say to what you want to say to comment to what's being said. Okay, now let's get to it.
Online on the iOS and Android on your mobile phones. Bengali's biggest conversation around the globe. This is Relax Radio.
आओ सब मिले কাজটা ছেড়ে রিল্যাক্স রেডিও শুনি आओ সব মিলে কাজটা ছেড়ে রিল্যাক্স রেডিও শুনি রিল্যাক্স রেডিওতে প্রতিদিন শোনা যায় বাংলার প্রতিধ্বনি রিল্যাক্স রেডিও শুনি রিল্যাক্স রেডিও শুনি
Relax Radio.
Relax Radio.
Yep, you're with me. You're with me for the next 1 hour, and we're gonna be kicking it till the end of it. And it's good, it's nice, and you're here with me, Andrew. Um, Relax Radio, and we have a good time over here. So if you know how to have a good time, then you're not in the wrong place. Come and join us if you wherever you are, and I'm sure you can play back this, and you'll see how good we have a good time. Yes, and it's we're here to share and engage ourselves, and say all these different things, and those that are out there trying to be involved, you could at Relax Radio, we're trying to we're imaging a radio station that's out here, that's already established in Bangladesh and Sri Lanka. So if you're out there trying to be say a broadcaster or anything in the media that we could accommodate, reach out to us and see how we can help you help us in a way that we could both benefit from each other. So we're live right now, so whatever you're seeing live, I'm sure you're aware as of now from Facebook. So whatever is being said at the time is what's being said at the time, so it's nothing pre-recorded or anything. So if you're out there trying to get involved, yeah, we got vacancies available. So I mean, if having heard this, you could actually reach out and say what's available, and then we'll communicate and see how we can work with you. And we're here for the community, and we're in London in the east. So if you are somewhere along there, or it's a place where that's reachable for you, um, you could reach out to us and say, no, listen, uh, I thought being a radio station is something I can do for you guys, and we could see how we can work out, and take it from there. Also, we do what's it called? real estate. So if you want accommodation or you want buy a house or all sorts, you could reach out to us and then we can sort you out. And is this is out there in the world, international, uh, world wide web. I mean, so if you are in Bangladesh, reach out to us and share some of the information you have, and we could put you on a map. And we're here, you know, everything good, and trying to survive. Everybody, it's hot outside, and life ain't sweet for everybody, but we're trying to get by. So till I say bye, I'm here. Yep. So it's Andrew on Relax Radio. Those that want to catch up with me sometime, I think you can just at Andrew MTUHNZIE on all social media. You'll find me, and yes, then we can take it to we can have a conversation about anything, but we keeping things live here, and we'll continue to talk and enjoy what is there for us. And we surely are going to have a good time. I mean, there's a lot of people out there wondering what's going on. I mean, things are getting tough, and I mean, yes, things are getting tough, but we're here. If you survive through COVID, then you should be grateful that you're here, because we saw a lot of things going on, and it was interesting in terms of how we got on, and the 2 years that we was having, and it wasn't easy, but we are good. Hey, I'm Zad Hossein Ruhan. How's things going? I hope you're well. Wherever you are, I'm right over here. It's what's good? Reach out, and I appreciate you. Anyway, um, we continue with the show, and it's just to reach out from somebody. You could also reach out too. So it's everything nice over here. We relaxed. We have a good time over here. Anyway, having said that, we need to be mindful of these guys who come around here trying to spy on us. You know, did you see the guy who got stopped at Gatwick? Mhm. He stopped at Gatwick because he was suspected to be a Russian spy. Guys, we shouldn't play around with Russian spies. We it's not quite a good idea, because these guys are it's crazy out there, because you can't always trust these guys, and these guys it's why did you not intervene the situation early in time, because you know that these guys don't play, you know so if you know how these guys don't play, and now you stopping their people from getting back to their country at the port of exit, imagine. But what can you do? I mean, thing about it is as much as it is like these guys should the suspect in his four is was detained on Monday evening as he attempted to leave the country. Come on, guys, this guy was about to leave the country. Just let him go. Because if you think um even if you think you're gonna catch up with this guy, it is already, I mean, information, and is passed on quickly, and wherever you go, you know what I mean. I mean, it's interesting how you see these movies about what's this is about some lost sheep that needs to get back to the MI5 or some stuff like that, and if it's not got back, and then it's gonna be a problem. But it's people got computers everywhere, so if it's whatever spy, I mean, you know whatever information must have been transferred by now to say this is what I saw and this is what I did. And how did they come to the conclusion that he was actually a spy? you know but leave it to the MI5, because they know how to deal with these guys. And apparently, it's section one of the official secrets at Act of 11911 related to information contained within notes, plans, sketches that might be useful to an enemy. We're used to this. I mean, it's interesting that there's all these acts and the way these measures are to say this is what we are going to this is how we're going to protect the we come from a community where you know you accommodate a guy that comes through and he becomes the cool guy and before you know it, like I'm sure you boys have experienced that. You're hanging out with boys and we all have these boys conversations and next thing you know, this one guy discovers that the girl that he wants is also the same girl that is wanted by one of the guys in the group. And you going up to the girl and say, listen, if you want that guy is capable of doing things that you've never seen before, and and snitching, you know say you can't be with that guy, be with me. I love you. And we're used to such communities of spies. And but at the end of it, we forgive them and we let them go because it's life. And so it's for us to be so concerned about spies. What I mean, at the port of exit, that's the thing. It's guys out there, I mean, we even go back to your siblings. you know you do something naughty and your parents find out, and then and then the next thing, mm, you are called to someone, and your family is there to say no, um say no, what did he do? And the snitch just quickly uh the snitch just raised it up and and quickly is there to say, no, he actually did it. And then you're in trouble and things don't go according, you know it gets crazy like that to say, no. So we're used to people spying. And when your little sister, and then when in your bedroom, and your little sister or your little brother comes through and decides to sneak through and see, and um, see what you're getting up to in your room, and um, crazy things like that. People have been spies from an early age, so you just such is life, and what can you do? And but we need this guy not to leave with any information, because the Great Britain is gonna go down under because of silly things like that. So how did this brother even come in? You know, it's such things that we need to, I mean, looking at it, it's like Russia and Britain have not been have a difficult times to a bit difficult relationship for years. I mean, with the fatal poisoning of the former Russian security officer, and that was in 2006, and attempted killing of former Russian double agent Seiji and his daughter with a nerve agent in Salisbury in 2018. So such things are just one of those things that people need to be mindful of. I mean, if you have a relationship that's not sweet, it's crazy. But in the meantime, let's go down and have a little something. we are back. We are back, and continue to have a good time. So I was saying how relationships need to, relationships are not as what they seem sometimes, and sometimes relationships are not quite what we want them to be. And it's sad how it becomes that, because it's like we hope things become the best of things and reach their full potential, but people lose trust within each other and things go left. So having said that, it's like looking back on the relationship between Russia and Russia and the UK, and it's a situation where you have to um, look at and analyze, and me saying in comparison to a real relationship, uh, people lose trust, and by our actions we do not. Sometimes having different. Hold on. Sometimes having different ways of life and different ways of how to do things, we find ourselves in situations where we don't condone or accept certain things that are happening around us in terms of the people we're in a relationship with. For business partners to, I mean, relationship at home, mom and dad, and so forth, and your child or your brother or your relatives and so on. Uh, it's those things where it's like the relationship has to have trust, and transparency comes with trust. But once one is trust is betrayed, then it becomes a back to square one where you have to rebuild it. And sometimes, you know, talking things out with somebody can help, and sometimes it does not. And sometimes communication comes into play where you have to explain yourself and become. Uh, Sometimes when you have to explain yourself and become clear on what's really going on, and that sort of thing, because we are all human, and in explanation we are not going to always be clear, and sometimes things are overlooked, and sometimes you've got a history that in the relationship, say maybe in a business, you're known for maybe you don't pay your people well, and you don't sort of maybe you don't pay on time things, and with that history, it then affects you to say rebuilding something with somebody, and you've got that cloud cover over you, it becomes a problem. And again, sometimes your understanding creates a difficulty for somebody um, to understand, and somebody to put across their points so that you can understand, because you got all different ways of thinking and ways of doing things, and some your background plays a part, but it's just ideally we all have to just learn how to listen. When we listen, we capture a lot of things, and retain that information, and digest it and make it suitable for you, because um, with more information you realize that you understand other things better, because you already have that other information that sort of um, connects with this information. So for instance, having known that you say you eat in the morning breakfast, dinner, and then somebody tells you that you know what, you also need to eat at 10 before, in between your meals, so you can relate to that because it's just something to do with eating. So of course we need to gain as much information as possible so that we are able to relate to other things that come into place later on, using the same information that we already have. um, is it difficult, it may say, is that knowledge is power, and knowing, with the more knowledge of absolutely anything, you gain power over that subject because you already know how to do it and you know how to you will not find yourself arguing about something because you know how you know what it is. So the more knowledge you get, the more arguments you have. I mean, the more knowledge you get, the less arguments you have. That way, you know, from arguments, you move to discussions because you know how to carry yourself and discuss things, and because you really understand how to you understand that you want to gain more knowledge. um, when you argue, you believe that you're right, and doesn't give it will not give you room to gain more knowledge from the other end, from the other person. So, you know, discussion involves you listening, and listening um, gains you knowledge, and you gain when you listen, and you lose when you just talk. You see, so those are just things that we should always be mindful of, and communication is a two-way thing. At some point, you need to be listening, and at some point, you could be talking, in that person. When you need somebody to listen to you, listen to them when they talk, and um, when you listen to them, then you gain perspective of how they think, and that way you sort of able to manage how you could tell them a story. So if somebody is talking to you, then you realize that this person is talking, you know, using parables and quotes from the Bible, and then you could just try and use something that's related from the Bible. That way, maybe you they probably would understand because it's something that's along the line of thinking, and that's the way their references are. And such things are a good thing because we out here trying to be better, not trying to be, it's another thing we should try to gain some, emotional intelligence because it's a difficult thing to communicate with somebody who's all up in the emotion and they can't manage their emotion, and um it's the feeling when you find somebody telling you how, but this is not how I feel, it's not how, what do you think? God damn it, you know what I mean? So it's what do you think? Because we're talking, and talking comes from thought, and I'm talking, I'm looking for your thought, and let's put the feelings later. But with your woman, with your married woman or girlfriend, just don't. I didn't tell you to do so because you just need to be um emotionally available. Communicate with them with emotions. So how do you feel? You know, ask them how they feel because most of the things that they do is through how they feel, and it's a challenge sometimes. But you need to consider people's feelings. And safe being rational to us, the guys. When we hang out with the guys, we can be rational, but when you go back to your woman, listen to how she feels because it's about how she feels. You can't tell them to do something and then she don't feel nice about it, and she's not happy about it. She needs to do things that she's happy about. You know, from whatever it is to the smallest thing, she needs to feel good. She needs to be happy about it. She needs to be emotionally connected while she's doing that. She needs to know that whatever you're doing is out of love, and it's you're not being rational, because being rational ain't cool. You're not emotionally attached. How you gonna be concerned about spending money, nigga? No. How you gonna be emotional about how you're spending money? Ninjas, ninjas. You can't be doing that. You need to be mindful when you do that with your woman. So I continue to urge y'all to be emotionally attached to your woman, and do right by your woman. But we'll go on a short break.
Through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The diagnosis. The pro analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio. Through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The diagnosis. The pro analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio.
Relax Radio.
Yes, we are back, and we're still speaking to these ninjas out there. The ninjas, not Ninja Turtles. I know. I mean, when I was growing up, I wanted to be a ninja because of the Ninja Turtles. Me and my cousins was the four of us, and we used to call each other ninjas. There was the purple one, the orange one, and but we didn't take note of their names, so we used to call each other ninjas. And we used to sort of hang out and do all these things. And it's the other day we was just reminding each other about how about we used to call each other ninjas. And with these ninjas, it's like we had our role. And because one of us was was getting was good in school, and I was the athlete guy, and the other one was good with the girls, and the other one was sort of yeah, he was the good guy that used to that now he's doing cooking and stuff, and certain things that was just looking at as guys, and as the ninjas now. So we was looking at it and saying, look at how we've all grown up and become who we are. And we was just looking at one of the cousins that was into cooking, and saying how now that he's married and he's got kids, and is cooking and overlooking that the woman wants to actually shine in her role, and so him by coming home and doing all these cookings, you leave it at work, and leave the woman to be the woman of the house and do the nice cooking and everything nice at home, because at the end of the day it's like we feel more, I think generally as people, we feel more uh, attractive when we do our gender roles. And once the other person is doing the role that is supposed to be done by the other, then it's like I can do that. So if I don't need you, if you know what I mean, I can look after myself. So what's the point in you being here? So it's out of love. It's just a case of falling back and let the other person do what's ideally the gender role. And you might say that it's 2022, but there's no need for all of that. And when in this day and age, the gender role thing is needs to be scrapped out. And we have uh, people who are actually doing things that are supposedly gender roles, as I say, um are people in the highest position. Like you, if I was reading about the lady that was the C. I think she still is the CEO of Pepsi. She said how one day she came home and she was telling her mom that she wanted to tell her mom the good news, that mom now have become the CEO of Pepsi. And the mom said, "No, listen, before you tell me about this whole thing, go get me some milk." She was like, "Mom, I just want to tell you, you shouldn't listen. There's a whole lot of time, but just go get me some milk." And then when she came back, the mom was saying, she asked, "Why did you do that?" And she was saying how, listen, when you come out of this house, you're wherever you are outside, but when you come here, you're still my daughter. And those are the things that we should learn as a people to sort of maintain a culture of how we grew up and how we think, regardless of the end result of where we end up and who we become and whatsoever. It's ideal that we, it's you have your wife as the CEO of a big company, and you probably the janitor. You have a doctor that's um medical doctor, and wife medical doctor, and the husband may be a driver or something. So it's just one of those things where we go out there and be who you want to be. But when you come into this house, you're my wife, and we need to address that, and we need to be aware of that. And let me lead. I'm the guy that's supposed to be leading us to the promised land, not the guy supposed to be just there. You know what I mean? And I mean, you reached your goals, and I'm just here, and this is the path that I've taken. So it's sometimes you can be a doctor of Medicaid of medicine, medical doctor, and somebody can be a doctor in say doctor in you know doctorate in say um history or something, and maybe the pay rate is different, and maybe say the guy that's you know but then that doesn't, at the end of the day we should look at each other and think, no, you know what, that stays outside the house and it's not should be a problem. I mean, you're my husband and I'm your wife, you know, and that sort of thing can help maintain healthy relationship, and it becomes a good thing. And I mean, the same situation happened to the queen. She, I'm sure y'all have heard about this before. And the Queen Elizabeth, she must have knocked in the door that she shared with the Duke. Um, you know, and she knocked at the door, and he said, "Who's there?" And she said, "The Queen." He didn't open the door, and she did it again, and she said, "The Queen," and she didn't open. He didn't open the door, and then finally she knocked again, and she said, "It's Elizabeth." And then he opened the door and he said, listen, in as much as you're the Queen of England, you're Elizabeth to me, you're my wife. You know what I mean? So we need to be able to put things into perspective, because when we fail to do these things and you feel, sometimes, people say, yeah, playing your part right. Nah, do you know what? Encourage me to play my part right. Communicate to me and say, no, listen, um, I hope you don't get this the wrong way, but um, could you do right by me and, do it the right way? And I hope, I would appreciate it if this is the thing in when we communicate, we should be mindful of things saying. Instead of saying, I expect you to be my husband, you should be able to say, I would appreciate it if you do this. You know what I mean? Because it's as silly as it may come across. What I heard was a demand. If you say you expect me to, but then when you say you appreciate, then I'm also moved to say, no, do you know what? Let me do it for appreciation. You know what I mean? Because it's simple things how we word our statement to say. Um, Somebody will come to you and say, "Don't forget to close the door." So the mind is already thinking. So you in your mind, you think I would forget to close the door. Do you know what? I'm going to leave the door open. But if we try to say, um, "Remember to close the door," you know what I mean? It's a whole. It makes a large difference. So we need to be mindful of what we say when we say what we say. We need to be able to communicate in the best way possible and be mindful of how we say things, because sometimes we think we've passed a message, but we have, you know, um, aggravated somebody. And the last thing that you want is when you aggravate somebody, you will not see the results. So it's ideal that we are mindful of what we say when we say what we say. You know, um, it's not easy sometimes, but it comes with the territory. It's life. It's the more information I say, like I said, the more information you get, the more you the better you become, and the more be able to relate to certain things. And you'll thank me later. Yeah. So over here, Relax Radio, we inform, educate, entertain. You know, we help each other grow and have a good time in all that we do, and we are there to support you in however we can in the community. So if you're out there trying to get by or trying to be somebody, and maybe you can come and relax with us and get some information, get you educated, and get entertained, because this is what we do. It's Relax Radio, and everything nice over here, because we keep things nice. But you know life is nice like that, and it's not been it's not it's supposed to be sweet, sweet life, you know and it's a beautiful afternoon here. We're having a good time, and life is sweet, you know because it's supposed to be sweet. Because if it's not sweet, then it's sour, and we don't want it to be sour, do we? Nope. Yeah, otherwise it'll be sweet. Make it sweet. Listen to beautiful melodies like these, and just make you feel good. Yeah. Yeah, man. Yeah, that's the thing. So it's we need to be able to do things that make us feel good, and um, get things done. And with all that's happening in the world, the cost of living is s- skyrocketing every day. It's not sweet, and um, if it's not sweet, then But I mean, life and its challenges are the things that make us who we are. So we continue to face these challenges, and with these challenges are the ones that become make us great. And when we become great, we you know, become great, and we become live a life where you look back and say, I was here, you know, I lived, I laughed, I was here, like the Beyonce song. That's my soundtrack every morning when I wake up. That's my theme song, and I continue to listen to that song and hope I make a difference in the community to say, I was here, I did what I did, and in as much as I had a good time, and I left something for somebody to learn and become better, and I left information for people to continue to have a good time. I reached out to a lot of people, which made a difference. Life is sweet now, and it's much improved. And I, created a roadmap for a couple of people, and now this is who they've become. And it's always great to see somebody who have you ever had a situation where you spoke to somebody and they said, you made them do something and you kind of forgot that, did I really do that? Or is it natural that I just do that? you know it's a thing where people saying, you help them become who they are without realizing the reflecting of you being of good, because you did it naturally and you didn't even realize, and it's just something natural. Same as love. Same love needs to be natural. In as much as we need to understand that things like love are, the dual polarization, love and there's hate. So what's in between? So is there really something called love? Is there really something called hate? Because if there's nothing in between, then you know what I mean. Those such things that we need to understand as a people and grow to learn, because like I said, life ain't sweet, but it's much improved. And as we improve, we need to do right by us, get as much information as possible, and become a different man. In the meantime,
through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The diagnosis. The pro analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio. through the eyes of the megaminds of our time. The Diagnosis. A Pro Analysis. Every Saturday from 4 p.m. to 5 p.m. on Relax Radio.
Yep. We're on the last run at the moment. We're heading for the pole position. The goal is to get there. Now, the way things are is, everything nice over here, and but things are not so sweet sometimes. And just reading something which I thought I'd share with you guys, and it's things are happening in Nigeria. Saying security officers in Nigeria have rescued about 30 teenage girls trapped in a forced prostitution and baby factory ring in Anambra State. The girls aged 14 to 17 were held captive at a hotel exploited as sex toys for hotel guests. 4 of the girls were pregnant at the time of the raid, while others who became pregnant before the operations were uncovered were unable to count for their babies. During the operation, the group's leader, a 35-year-old woman, was arrested together with 7 additional female accomplices. According to a preliminary report, most of the girls came from various parts of Nigeria. How can teenage girls be protected from being lured to such kinds of unlawful activities? This is happening in Nigeria, and I'm sure it's not just in Nigeria that is happening. I'm sure it's happening all over the place. How do we protect the girl child from such things happening? I mean, these girls are only 14 to 17. I mean, and saying 4 of them were pregnant. Who knows if they were only pregnant, which means that they're probably having unprotected sex, and there's so much things that are out there that could come along with unprotected. I mean, already there's trauma. Look at the age, so how can we protect the girl child from such things? And it's crazy because I'm sure these big guys come through and lure them with all these different things to say, I'll look after you, money and all that. I'll look after the baby. And little do they know, and being at a hotel. I mean, if you grow up in a space and you are seeing all these things and they're happening to you at that early age when you cannot quite comprehend some of the things that are happening in life as we know it, it's you are caught up in a place where you can't even continue life, because I mean that psychological it affects you psychologically, and it's not quite something that we want for our people. So how do we stop these people? How do we educate the girl child on how to look after themselves in such scenarios? I mean, how do we also stop this from happening from the other end, where the people are actually adults who are actually facilitating these things? A 35-year-old woman controlling a hotel full of 14 to 17-year-old women, it's girls, into prostitution. How do we, this really touched me, and it touched me in a way that, it ain't quite cool for us to be indulging kids into such situations. How do we tackle these issues? This is the platform us to communicate and share information where we can make this a better world. I mean, this world needs to heal. I mean, there's so much pain. There's so much pain going on, and we really need to heal for the better of tomorrow. It's It's really sad. It's really sad. you know, 14-year-olds, 14-year-olds, you know, man. Uh, I'm so down right now. This is just a lot to take in, and it's and it keeps happening. That's the thing. It keeps happening, and it's crazy how such things keep happening, and there's little much we can do, and people. But I mean, if we continue to try and talk, let's talk about it. Let's aid out and share such information. Let's find solutions because man, this ain't cool at all. This really ain't cool. It's it's not cool at all. So I appeal to people in Nigeria to see what they can do, and the people abroad, international, to help wherever you can. And I'm saying all this so that you know what's happening down there, and then maybe you could be of assistance away in a way. And man, it's really crazy. It's really crazy. But anyway, in other news, we just seen uh, we just seen a few days ago we just seen Beyonce change her profile pictures on all her Instagrams, all her social media, and we seen um what else did we see? We see she put B7 on her Twitter, and we see B8 on Tidal, so we know something is coming up. We hope whatever it is, like we're ready for it. Like I'm not part of the beehive, but I'm happy when I see honey in hive. Yeah, so I'm happy to see any of that happening. And the other day we also seen Blue Ivy, the dad at the games, and in the cam the kiss cam uh switched to them, and then the daddy kissed the little girl on the cheek, and it sounds sweet, but this little girl is just like feel embarrassed and stuff. It was crazy. It was something sweet to see, and Jay-Z, the big guy, doing his thing, and he's um nice to see parents look after their kids and show love and take them out once in a while. It's it's good. It's good to see. Well, hope one day I get a daughter and I show her the love that I have, and one day maybe son or two, do all of that we've seen happen from across, and like to do most of these things. But yeah, and then Jay-Z's teaming with the Twitter founder Jack Dorsey to launch a Bitcoin-focused financial literacy project in massive houses. A public housing complex in Brooklyn, New York. That's where Jay-Z was raised, and I'm sure he's giving back to his community to see teach people how to financial literacy, to look after their own, and take them out of these street projects that not that could end you up in jail or killed and so forth. You know, and trying to make these streets safe. You know, but anyway, this is Andrew. Relax Radio. It's the Lunch Munch Show. I'm glad you've been hanging out with me. Those that have been coming through, and um, it's crazy. Got two comments right here before I leave. Charity says begins at home, and we have to be role models for our children, so don't go astray. Of course, no disrespect to my Nigerian brothers, but Nigerians value money more than human life. But To me personally, life integrity comes first. Yeah, man. Um, it's crazy. It's crazy, but that story really touched me, man. It's if we continue to try and reach out to the people involved and be of help, and whatever it is, through opinion and through having say whatever you can say and whatever you can information, with all the when you're in the age of technology and information. So I mean, let's share the information and see how we can do things. um you know it's let's be a role models. Let's be a role model wherever you are. I check your identity and be of your people and be a role model to your own people. I mean, regardless of what, like, you're from Croydon, do things that people in Croydon you expect them to do. I mean, then they can emulate what you do and then become people better. And do you come from England, be English. I mean, if you come from Africa, be an African. Show them the African way of life. Be a role model. You know, wherever you're from, look after yourselves. In the meantime, signing out. Meet you same time tomorrow. It's the Lunch Munch Show, Monday to Friday, 12 to 2. Take care of yourself.